Hello, my fellow project managers. Your buddy Phil here, project management trainer and coach. Today, we're going to talk about earned value metrics. By the time we're done, about 15 minutes thereabouts, I would have shown you a lot of what you need to know for your exam. I'm going to show you CPI and SPI scenarios. I'm going to ask you for the interpretation of graphs and charts and explain to you what you need to know for your exam. So let's get moving. I've been working as a project manager for over 2 decades. I got certified in 2005. Founded Praizion Media, and since I got certified as a project manager back in 2005, I started using earned value at Honeywell when I was a worker there. I enjoyed it so much that as soon as my contract was over, I started planning how to write a book on earned value management basics. And today I'm going to share with you some of the tips and tricks I've learned over time. First trick I've learned is numbers matter. SPI, Schedule Performance Index, CPI, Cost Performance Index, SV, schedule variance, and CV, cost variance. There's a hack to it, and it's all in the numbers. And the pattern that you see all the way to the right-hand side is key. What you see on the right-hand side over here is a breakdown of how earned value works. Right here you can see if you are greater than 1, you are ahead. And that is a good scenario. You're ahead of schedule. If you're greater than 1, you're under budget. And that is an awesome scenario to be under budget. So just put it into your thinking like this. For the indices, anything greater than 1 is favorable. Anything less than 1 is unfavorable. So less than 1 means you're behind schedule. Less than 1 means you're over budget. You don't want that. Equal to 1, you are on target. Now, being ahead and being ahead of schedule and under budget isn't a bad thing, but it could become a concerning thing if you're so far ahead. Let me explain. So as I said, I used earned value back in my job, and a particular day of the week would meet with management, and there was once we were able to catch the CPI being so far greater than 1 for a level of effort contract. It was quite concerning. And management asked me to look into it and discovered, lo and behold, we were not charging the right numbers to the right cost center. The moment we did, the CPI that was far above 1 came back to 1. And that's a good gauge for you to just catch certain business errors. So I know some people say earned value is useless, it's hopeless, it does nothing for me. I beg to differ. I've used it. I can speak to the fact that it does work and it does help. Going to the variances, if we take a look at greater than 0, that is favorable for the variances. Anything greater than 0 is good. Greater than 0, ahead or under budget. Less than 0, behind, over budget. So we don't want to be behind or over budget. And equal to 0, you're right on target for the variances. So why don't we take a look at some examples and see this in action. So I'm going to show you a number and then I'll ask you, what does it mean? Here we go. SPI, 0.5. Now if we go back to the previous slide, and I'll just clear out of the way for a second, just so you can see what I was speaking to. I got down to SV and CV, and I might have been blocking your view, but now you see. All right, now we're good to go into the questions. All right, so this metric, 0.5, is this good? Is it bad? Or is it something else? Okay, 0.5 is less than 1 for the index, so it's bad. What about CV's $5? If you need more time, always hit the pause button. $5 is positive, that's good. What about SV is minus $50? What do you think? SV is minus $50 because we're talking about variance. This is bad. What about cost performance index is 1.01. Is this good or bad? This is good. It's not so far above 1, but there's some projects that are 1.01 would give cause for concern, like a level of effort arrangement, like I explained. Okay, SPI is 3.09. What does this mean? This right here, I'll tell you, is concerning. It looks too good. There may be a problem. What does it mean? It means that for every dollar that you should have gotten done, you got $3 worth of work done instead. It's not saying that you spent more money or less money. This is about schedule. So a 3.09 just means you got 3 times the amount of work done than you said you would. That's concerning. Did you pad? How did you become so efficient schedule-wise? Next we have CPI equals 0.65. What do you think about this? Good, bad, or something else? CPI of 0.65, that is bad. That means you're spending $1 and you're only getting 65 cents out of it. Very bad. Okay, now we're done talking about the very basics. The last thing I would like to show you here is how to interpret these earned value graphs. So we're going to take a look at a few earned value graphs here. The very first one you see here on the screen. What is the status of this project at Q1? What do you think? If you need more time, hit the pause button. I'll give a little countdown and I'll reveal the answer. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Taking a look at Q1, whenever you look at these graphs, the right thing to do is to trace up from where you are to understand, okay, this is where I am. If I trace up, how does that share into those 3 lines? I can see that earned value is in the middle, but planned value is ahead of earned value, and I can see that the actual cost is under. So anytime you look at this, you need to be thinking planned value is all about the schedule, right? You got to be thinking earned value is all about what was done, and you got to be thinking actual cost is all about the cost. So always think about those variables like that. PV is the hardest one because people sometimes may not associate PV with schedule. Even though it's schedule, it has a cost component to it, and that is what throws people off. The cost component is only there to show you the measure of what should have been done within the time period. It's not for you to track cost. So in this instance, we can see the planned value is higher than the earned value is higher than the actual cost. Anytime earned value is above, higher than any of those other two, it's favorable. So if EV is above the PV line or above the AC line, that's good. But in this instance, we can see EV is under the PV line. So that's bad for schedule. That means we planned to get a certain amount done and we didn't. We got less. And that's not good. So in this case, we are behind schedule and we are under budget. Under budget is good. You got to think in reverse when it comes to budget. It's the weird one where we hear the word under, we typically think it's bad. No, under budget is good. All right, so in this example, the answer is you are behind schedule, you're under budget. Okay, I want you to take that thinking and let's go to the next one. The next one, what is the status of the project at Q2? Select all that apply. Remember, it's a select all that apply. And I'll give you a few seconds to think about the answer based on what I just told you. All right, 3, 2, and 1. All right, if you take a look at what we have over there, you can see earned value at Q2 is higher than both the planned value and the actual cost. Do you remember what I asked you to do? With planned value, I asked you to think about schedule. For actual cost, I asked you to think about cost. This shows that you did more. Remember, earned value is done. You did more than you scheduled. So this is Q2. Let's trace it up. And let's trace this. Let's say we trace this over here and we saw Oh, we got 300K worth of work done. How much work did you say you were going to do? Oh, we said we are going to do 200K worth of work. Well, you got more done than you scheduled. See, now, like I said, you could get some consternation for this, but for the sake of the question, we're just going to assume it is what it is. And yeah, you're ahead of schedule. So you plan to get 200 done, you got 300 done. Good job, right? And here's the actual cost. If we trace the actual cost, this shows that we only spent 100K to get 300K worth of work done. Again, that would be concerning in the real world, but for the sake of the question, it just means you're under budget. Okay? Let's go to the next one. So you are under budget and ahead of schedule. Okay? C and D. Let's move on. Okay, what is the status of the project at Q2? Still at Q2. Now you know the drill. Hit the pause button if you need more time. 3, 2, 1. All right. Now, remember we're at Q2. Still at Q2. So if you trace up like that, it helps you to think, what is first? What is next? What is next? So in this instance, we can see for earned value, it's not favorable cost-wise, but it is favorable schedule-wise. So you would say you are over budget and you are ahead of schedule. So A and D would be the answers. Let's move to the next one. Okay, what is the status of the project at Q2? Again, select all that apply. What do you think? Take a look at what is at the top and always look for where earned value is. All right, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, so you can see earned value is under planned value. That is not good. That means you are behind schedule. Earned value is above actual cost. It's good. That means you're under budget. So you're behind schedule and under budget. Are you getting the hang of these? All right, let's go to our last few questions. Here we go. What is the status of this project at Q1? Look carefully at Q1. What is the status? Three, 2, 1. All right, now this one, I know it looks a little bit tricky, but it's pretty straightforward for Q1. At Q1, right over here, and we're going to zoom in a little bit. So right over here for Q1, you can see quite clearly that in terms of your PV, it's above right here. It's above EV, and EV is above AC. So this looks like a situation where you are behind schedule, but in terms of budget, it's favorable. So what was your answer? What's your answer? Okay. Someone says behind schedule. Okay, and good. All right, let's see if you got it right. So the answer to this is you are behind schedule, obviously, but you're under budget for Q1. All right, let's move on to the next one. All right, what is the status of this project at Q2? Select all that apply. All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, If you need more time, hit the pause button. Taking a look at Q2, and let's just zoom in a little bit to Q2 for context. All right, there's Q2. What do you see at Q2? Something's going on at Q2. Right here, if you take a closer look at Q2, what do you notice over here? Right over here. You notice that the red and the green are smack dab on top of each other. That means the red, earned value, and the green, actual cost, they flush. Planned value is under. So, if your answer was something to the effect of earned value and actual costs are equal, and therefore you are on budget, right on budget, that is correct. And if you chose the option that identified that earned value was also above planned value, making another good situation, you got it right. Okay? So in terms of schedule, you're clearly ahead of schedule. In terms of budget, you are on budget. The language is very important. So make sure if you're on budget, you choose on budget, not under budget. They're different. Over budget, under budget, on budget, they're all different. All right, let's go to our next question. Next, we go on to what is the status of this project at Q3? All right, 3, 2, and 1. All right, well, taking a look at this project, Q3, again, we're going to zoom in and see what the state is. If you haven't already done that, let's zoom straight in. And right there, you can see all 3 flush. So what we can deduce from this is you are right on schedule and right on budget. Okay? And that, my friends, concludes our review of earned value in a few minutes. Okay? Remember, if you're looking for training, coaching, and guidance for your PMP exam, we are here to help you. Whether you're weak in the area of Agile or you need help in the area particularly of Scrum or understanding Kanban or any of the other Agile frameworks or anything else in this book, which weighs a ton, PMBOK guide, right? Whatever you need, we can help. All right, so going down to Praizion.com, we have an auxiliary site known as pmanonymous.com, and that is for one-on-one coaching. Check that out as well. And we also have a website where we deliver training that is hybridized, both predictive and agile. And to get some more information about that, just go on down to hpmexam.com, because after all, it's a hybrid project management exam, isn't it? All right. I hope this helped you. Don't forget to drop a comment below. Let me know if this made sense to you, if it helped you. All the very best on your exam. I know you're going to do it. Just pedal to metal, okay? Stay on it. Take care.